Yes, Steve Maguire and Ali Carter were both touted as potential world champions when they first arrived on the snooker scene as young professionals many years ago. The closest that either has got to lifting the world trophy was Ali Carter, who finished runner-up back in 2008. So this semi-final of the Betfred.com World Championship presents a huge opportunity for one of them to fulfil that youthful promise. The first session, Ali Carter edged by 5 frames to 3. The second took place earlier this morning. Here's what happened.
Welcome to the second session.
He levels the match now at 5-all.
But it's as you were. Ali Carter, 7-5 in front. So the pot has got to be accurate.
What an amazing frame. Ali Carter goes 3 clear at 8-5.
Ali Carter now has stretched his lead to 4. Boy, that's the worst shot that Ali has played this morning. And that's an unbelievable break of 142. He's showing us there that he's not out of this by a long shot. But the yellow's going near the corner, and it's going to be left, I feel.
And that takes him further clear. Maguire's behind now by 10 frames to 6.
Well, I've been joined by 7-time world champion Stephen Hendry. I sometimes think it's pointless introducing you. Everyone should know who you are. Stephen, the first session between Maguire and Carter was a bit tense, a bit turgid. The second was a little bit more free-flowing, a little bit better snooker. Yeah, more big breaks. Obviously, we've seen the magnificent 1-4-2 from Maguire, but you've seen many mistakes from him. Very unlike him at all. Do you think he's feeling a little bit tense because every time he gets an opportunity and he doesn't take it, the gap widens, and this is the pressure of the semi-final now? Absolutely. I know that it's first to 17, but the more frames you get behind, the more pressure it puts in every single pot, and every mistake you make if it's getting punished. It's massive, the start tonight for Maguire. He needs to win, I think, 3 of the first 4 frames. OK, we've heard it. It's a huge session coming up for Stephen Maguire and Ali Carter. Standing by to welcome the players out, Rob Walker.
Thanks, Rishi. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's Friday night. We're in Sheffield, and this is the Betfred.com World Snooker Championship. What a massive session in prospect this evening. A semi-final in the balance. Both players will give it absolutely everything, so let's do the same for them. Let's get the boys on the bays. Please welcome a player so unwell earlier this season there were whispers of retirement. Here he is, back to health and back to the big time. He fought his way through a 13-12 against Trump, a 13-11 against Jones. His determination is shining through this week. Finalist in 2008, he's won the Welsh, he's won in Shanghai. He's flying high. He's the captain, Ali Carter! And his opponent, one of the nicest guys on the circuit. He's brought great form here to the Crucible, and it's time for this great Scot to deliver. Bidding for a first World Championship final, winner of 4 ranking event titles in all, he showed his class with an important 1-4-2 earlier. Can he find the magic tonight? When he's good, he's on fire. Stephen Maguire!
Buzzing inside the Crucible tonight. Session 3 of Maguire and Carter about to begin. Ali Carter in control, but we've seen things change very quickly here at the Crucible before. What will happen tonight? To tell us, Dennis Taylor and John Virgo.
Well, thank you, Rishi. And you looked over our shoulders there, and we've got the best seats in the house, but the Crucible Theatre,
17.
a match like this, everybody's got the best seat in the house. And Dennis, I've done the first 2 sessions of this match, and boy, these 2 snooker players are really battling it out for that prize of a place in the final on Sunday and Monday. And as everybody said, and as Stephen Hendry alluded to, big 4 frames this, you feel, for Stephen Maguire.
Well, he's got the first chance of a pot, and there's a path round the back of the black. Could do with hitting the green full ball, and he has. So an early chance for Stephen Maguire. That's the distance there of the pot that he had, and that was the angle. Played it perfectly. There's a few loose reds. There's also the angle off the brown to go into the pack. This shot will tell you how he's feeling. He's got 4 reds available before he would have to go into that
5
bunch of reds.
Yes, I think that's why he didn't take the risk of trying to open them up, because he could cannon into the cluster off a good angle black and still be on one of those reds. I'd rather have finished a little low on the black here, so you could stun directly into the cluster, but be careful here. Obviously the red that's just to the left of the black will go to the right corner. But as I say,
13.
As soon as he comes low, he can nudge into it. Not with great pace, but just release a few reds. He's still got the loose reds that will be available.
14.
Chance to play that little cannon now.
Yeah, he's just looking to see what he would release, and also making sure there's no possible plants into the middle pocket. You can play it the way John suggested, because the 2 reds will be available. You can play with a little bit more pace, but you're risking not dropping on one of these 2. And that's why he just played into them without too much pace.
21.
He has released a couple of reds.
22.
And isn't it great if you can get off to a start like this, John, especially if you knock a long one in like the one he did?
Yeah, get your hand on the table and start getting that cue going through. It's okay doing it on the practice table. It's out here in the match arena where it matters. I think he just went through a little period in the second session this morning, Steve Maguire, where just the balls weren't running for him, and he was frightened to take any risks. He just thought that any little cannon was going to go against him, and you know what it's like when you feel like that. You just don't have great confidence. So a good start, and if he can make this a frame-winning contribution, that will give him a boost.
.37.
He's taking one of the reds that he released when he played the cannon a few shots back.
38.
There's still a couple of more reds available before he would have to go into them. Once again, just looking to see if there's any plants into the middle pocket. They're not quite on. So is he going into the bunch here? Now, as he squeezed that red, It wasn't the best pack to go into. He hadn't any insurance this time of a red into the corner pocket. We knew the plant wasn't on, but he hit it in such a way he nearly knocked it into the middle. But now he's got a slight problem. He's a 45-point advantage, but the red over the middle pocket. He can't even really attempt a double because he'd leave that red on.
Yep, and I don't think there's a path back to balk here without a big risk, so he's just looking where he can leave the cue ball to block the path to that red near the left middle, but all he'd be doing then really is just leaving an easy opportunity. Is he thinking of a double here? If he could get the cue ball back to the right hand side of the table, it may be worth taking a risk. I just can't see whether he can or not. Will he believe in an easy safety?
If you can put the cue ball where I've got that other one, it'll be fairly safe. He'll block the pocket.
Stephen Maguire, 45.
Well, just a fraction away from continuing that break.
Could you just check the volume in your earpieces, please? It is quite loud. Is it closed? I don't know if I've seen it. Yeah, I can just hear it. Yeah, I could hear it during the break, but I didn't watch it. Yeah.
We must be able to possibly, we're pretty close to the action here, and sometimes you can hear the commentary. I don't think it was through the earpieces that time. If they are turned up, they can catch the noise, but anyway, everything's resolved.
As I say, the problem with the shot that Stephen Maguire played, it's an easy run to the balk end. You've got to get a good length with the cue ball. He needs to find that balk cushion for it to be a good safety, and he's not.
There's Peter Ebden, always very elegant. Flew over from Budapest to be with Ali. And Ali's good friend next to Peter there, so he's certainly playing well in this semi-final. But there's a long way to go. All those reds going over the left side of the table is to Stephen Maguire's advantage.
To be careful there, and he's played that very well. Had to find that gap between pink and blue, because he knows one more mistake and this frame will be gone. Just rubbed by the yellow. It's a good safety now.
Look at Ali Carter's safety success rate. It's at 92%. Steve Maguire's 89, which is pretty high also. He's got one supporter in the crowd. He's got a few more now after that shot. I think they realised that Ali had freed the reds that were awkward. The only problem is he sent the black back up the table, but he needed those reds into play. He looks pretty focused, Stephen Maguire, here in this opening frame.
Caught that attempted pot much too thick. That's why he's only reached the baulk line. And it's difficult trying to play safe down the left-hand side of the table, so you have to find that gap between pink and blue again. Ooh, and just missed the pink. It's good now. But if it had caught the pink, it might not have been, but just about got away with it.
That's what Stephen's looking at there, and there's no easy return back to the safety zone. He's snookered on the 4 reds that are behind the pink there. It's coming up to a minute's thinking time, and he's reluctant to move these reds to the left side of the table. But there's not much he can play here.
No, he's just had a look at that red second one up on the side cushion. If he just nestled on that, he wouldn't leave much, or wouldn't leave anything easy. A return back to baulk is very dangerous, if that's what he's decided.
Got to miss the red that's near the black spot. Has he fluked it? Has he fluked it? Well, that red was coming back up the table. He found the path to the cue ball, but what an important fluke that could be in this opening frame. Every chance, if he gets on those 3 reds to the right of the pink, he'll win the frame. And that looks to be just about perfect. Look where he's put the cue ball. He's got a choice of reds either side of the table. Well, this was a little beauty, John, wasn't it? Coming at this stage.
Absolutely. And that could be the frame winner. He came to the table. He made a 45 break earlier, and now he's just got to get another 30 points at this visit, and that will be more than enough to take the first frame. .55 ahead, 83 remaining. Every time he pots a red, of course, that what's remaining will be reduced by 8 points.
11.
Yes, it doesn't matter what sport you play. If you get that little bit of run, a bit of good fortune,
17.
Sometimes it can make all the difference.
Well, the red and the pink would be enough.
18.
This pink will put him 69 points in front, with just 67 remaining.
Ali couldn't do anything about the fluke. Stephen Stephen's earlier 45 and seemed to do the damage, but he ran out of position and Ali was right back in the frame. But for that fluke, but that's what can happen.
Yes, for all the skill in snooker, you can't beat a bit of luck. Ali Carter got Stephen in trouble, and well, the fluke, as we thought at the time, was going to be the frame clincher. So that puts him 76 in front, 59 remaining. That's enough for Ali Carter. Didn't pot a ball, didn't have much chance. Just the start Stephen Maguire needed. He's now 3 behind, 10-7.
Well, Stephen, you were saying earlier when we were chatting that it was imperative that Stephen Maguire gets off to a good start, wins the 3 of the first 4 frames. Yeah. There we go.
Yeah, he had to win the first frame. I mean, you know, Ali Carter could mathematically win tonight, you know, if he wins 7-1. So it's a huge session for Steve Maguire if he's got any aspirations to win a World Championship. The
way he played in the early part of the tournament was very fluent. Sitting here with John Parrott and Steve Davis, they're talking about him hitting the back of the pockets hard, hitting the seam of the pocket. The first 2 sessions haven't seen that much of that type of play from him. No, but I think that Ali's... the way he's playing, he's been very clever. He's frustrating Stephen. Stephen likes to get in and smash the balls up and pot the balls and clear up in one visit. As I've said before, he hasn't been put under any pressure in the tournament so far. This is the first time in this match he's been put under pressure, and you know, up to now he's come up short. But there's still a long way to go.
Not a bad break off from Steve Maguire. Looks as if he can just get past the yellow to get back down the table. And there's a terrific return, and it really is. And it's made it very difficult for Stephen Maguire. That was a super safety shot. Needs a very thin snick off this red to get down the right side of the table. It's so easy to go in off this, or wobble in the jaws and leave the white up this end of the table. He's played it well. That's a bit too thin. He settled for the outcome, but he knew he hit that thinner than he intended. He's trying to leave the white tight on the cushion, but he'll take the snooker. Not easy just to come off the side cushion because of the way the reds have opened up. You can't just nestle into them. You have to be pretty precise with this. But you could say it was pretty precise. He really is a terrific match player, Ali Carter, and okay, some say he's not taking the risk that he should do, but why should he? He's playing to get into his second World Championship final. So keep it tight, and when you get the chance, knock the balls in. It's not a bad format.
a little bit thick. He needs one of the baulk colours to come to his rescue, and I think the brown has, for this red to the right corner. And one red's blocking another to this left corner, so a little bit fortunate not to leave anything there, Stephen.
Well, he's going to have to pick something special out here, because at first glance there's no escape route. And there's no way through to just nestle on the red that's behind the black. He's just looking at that red now to see if he could somehow play onto that. But the only way he can get over there is off the red that's left side of the table, not the one that's near the pocket, the other one. And if he plays to get over and land on that red that's near the cushion, he could get the double kiss. That's the only escape I can see. In the end, he decided to try and just move the red away. Has he covered everything? Has he covered everything? I don't think so. Not looking at Stephen Maguire's body language. No, there's a path through.
One.
Well, what a marvellous opportunity this is. We know he's cueing well, as he's shown in the first frame. And you couldn't wish the balls to be better than this, and the black available into both corners. This is a tremendous chance.
8.
Choice of reds, he's got one to the left middle, one to the right middle, one to the right corner. Just depends which gives them the best position on the colour.
Nine.
Well, I'd like to have been a little bit straighter on this blue. May have to play a little cannon, and little cannons can go wrong. And the obvious one is just to play a little cannon on those two reds to the left of the pink, but as I say, it could go wrong. I think he's okay, particularly if he's got one to the right corner.
14.
Yeah, it couldn't have worked out better. He decided to play the cannon on the pink, but as you say, John, any little cannon on the white sometimes can slip out of position.
15.
It's hard to believe that this is Stephen Maguire. It's only his second time at the one table situation here at the Crucible. He had a terrific semi-final clash in 2007 where he lost 17-15 to John Higgins. So he maybe feels it's his time, but he's got a lot to do here. He'd probably have set a stall out to try and win this session, 6-2. That would have been at the back of his mind, and as Stephen Hendry said, 3 out of the first 4 would help that.
$23.
That got a bit of a bounce off this back cushion, which has left him straight. Should be okay. another one of those little cannons.
30.
He can get up for the blue this time.
$31. $36.
Yeah, he's come here ready for action, that's for sure, John. Clean shaven. Sometimes you see that dark stubble, but he's out there and he looks mean. Those eyes of Stephen when he looks down the cue. He really is focused. You can just see him glancing back and forwards. Object ball, cue ball, object ball.
44.
He's overdone that. And this blue is going to make the next pot very difficult. I think he thought he was going to kiss the pink or something to hold the cue ball, but it just ran on and on. And now he's left with a tough shot. Got a 44-point lead.
So once again he's a bit reluctant to move that red that's over the right side of the table, but there's no other easy safety shot. It's similar to the opening frame, you know, he's got a 40-odd point lead, needs a couple of balls safe now.
Stephen Maguire, 44.
This was the shot where John mentioned he was hoping just to cannon the pink half ball. And it just kept on running. This is, well, that's something similar would have happened and he would have had a nice easy red. Is he having a go here? No easy safety shot. Well, he's leaving a tempter along the cushion. And that's a pretty good spot to put the cue ball, because the one along the cushion would be dead straight. And I don't think there's one available into the left middle. He's looked at the one along the cushion. That's not very inviting. Slight angle, but he's too far away from it.
He's very wary if he plays safe to the balk end, which seems the logical choice. He's worried about that red in the other half of the table. Wants to cover that if he can. And that's not much good, to be honest with you, because that just makes it that much easier for Ali Carter to play a telling safety shot here.
Yeah, he was hoping to cover that red with the yellow, wasn't he? But he didn't, and as John said, makes it easy for Ali.
Don't want that cue ball in.
Settle down, JV. Don't be getting too excited.
If it had run in off there, that would have been handing the frame to Stephen on a plate. Well, he's looked at this red, running it into the blue, not playing the pot, and then trying to screw back to the balk end, but in the jaws. Oh, and a red's appeared from nowhere and gone over the middle. And that's the problem when you're hitting a ball like that, but to be honest, you could never have envisaged that happening.
Yeah, he was trying to mess the table up and played the shot that you called, John. He thought if I go into the blue, I could knock a few balls safe here. But for the blue to go on and send that one over the middle. But don't forget, in the opening frame, it was, oh, he's let the cue ball run away. He's looking at that cushion. He's smiling. I was just about to say, with a bit of good fortune and that fluke, Stephen Maguire won the first frame, but that hasn't cost him. The fact he knocked that red over, that bounce off the cushion has spoiled the thing. Let's have a look at this again.
Yeah, but you've got to remember that that is the first ball that Ali has potted tonight, so okay, it may have looked a bit like a bounce. Is he taking this yellow on? What a pot! Well, catching the green was not ideal, but that's not the type of shot that Ali would have taken on in the early stages of this match, so I think that was born out of a little bit of frustration, a little bit of annoyance. Right in the heart of the pocket. And if the green had been on its spot, he wouldn't have kissed it.
Needs another one here to keep the break going.
Oh, what a terrific pot that was. And now he's giving himself a chance. Only just.
$11.
33 points behind. Seven reds in the middle of the table. He's looking to get these reds. There's only one real awkward one.
12.
Just getting rid of the green. And then on its spot. And now he can
15.
work on the black and pink. And if
16.
he can take these reds with high value colours, when he gets to the yellow, he probably only need yellow and green, or possibly brown. So what a chance. Just a couple of awkward reds, Dennis, that he's got to negotiate.
Yeah, the one behind the
23.
black's not too badly placed. It's the one that's on the left side cushion. That could prove a problem. We're talking about this match from Stephen Maguire's point of view, trying to win the session 3-1. What about from Ali Carter's point of view? He had a four-frame advantage, and when you get that 4 frames, John, as you know, if you share the frames with your opponent, you're going to go through to the final, and that will be his plan of attack.
Nice prejudged cannon. Just 14 points behind now. He'd love to be able to win this frame without having to bother with the blue, and he can, as I say, if he stays on the pink and black with these reds. But only one in the clear now. So when you've got awkward reds near cushions, it's imperative you get a good angle on the colour, so you can drop on them at the perfect angle.
38.
With that difficult red that's going to be coming up, should he negotiate 45. This red and the black? See, the blue's off its spot, and with that in the position it is, sometimes you can screw back and just get away from the cushion slightly, but there's no blue available. Has he got some sort of angle here? He might even attempt to cannon this out rather than drop in behind it, because it's still going to be a difficult pot. Looks as if he's going to stun in behind it. Now this is key, and if he is straight, he can't get away from the cushion too much. 53. As I say, if the blue was on its spot, you could screw back, and he's got a slight angle to work with, but it's not going to be easy to get a good black to then get him up to the yellow, especially with the blue sitting where it is.
Well, I'm just looking at the scoreboard. He's 9 points in front, so he may take a chance. There's probably more pace you put in this, more chance of missing it. He might go up for a baulk colour here. Got to be accurate, though. That was the problem. The more pace you put in that shot, more likelihood you were going to miss it. And he knew if he went up, got a baulk colour, then them 3 baulk colours would have been enough to win it without the blue, but it was pace. He took a risk. It didn't come off.
Oh, this looks good. This looks very good. Another roll, and it would have been quite difficult to escape from. He can swerve around the black and pink. May have to hit the cushion first, but another roll and this shot wouldn't have been available to him. Well, he thought he didn't get enough on it. You never know where the object ball's going to go when you get out of a snooker in that way. So can Stephen Maguire muster up one long pot here to give himself a chance? There's a long pot success rate. Hit that very hard. He'd be lucky to get away with this, but he hit that much harder than he didn't time that very well. But a bit of good fortune for the red to finish up there. Just have a look at this again. Never even got it in the jaws of the pocket. He didn't like that.
Yeah, Stephen was fortunate not to leave that red, having missed it by so far.
Yeah.
It's been quite a strange match, this. The first 2 frames of the match, Stephen Maguire won, lost the session 5-3. First 2 frames of the second session, he won, and still lost that session 5-3, hence the 10-6 at the start of this evening, so even though he's had good starts to the sessions, he's not been able to sustain it. And I think he may be having a look at the pot on this red. It's a thin one. I think there's a straightforward safety, just stun the red full ball, possible snooker behind the yellow, but we'll see.
So we're in for a tense tactical battle here to see who makes the mistake on this last red. It's a shot on here where he could just send the red over to the left side cushion, the white to the right side cushion. He's got the 3 balls to get the snookers behind. Just depends how he feels. He's trying to get in behind the black, and I'll tell you what, this is not far away. Almost a full ball snooker. He can swerve around this, or he can come off 2 cushions. I think I'd prefer the swerve. He might get it safer.
But it's the old problem, isn't it? It's not hitting it. Can he leave it safe? Because Ali Carter has a 9-point lead. He's looking for red colour and yellow, green and brown.
Well, he was going to play the swerve, changed his mind. Is he going to get away with it? He'll settle for that because the red doesn't go past the green.
Has he got the snooker is the big question.
Well, if he's got the snooker, that's a bonus, I can tell you. There's a little bit sticking out, and just enough for Ali to send that red off the side cushion, back over onto the pork cushion, and once again, try and get that cue ball in behind the black. Not quite a snooker, but perfectly safe.
Yeah, all the pressure's on Stephen here. But Ali Carter just missed a trick there. He should have had the snooker, you feel. Can Stephen play a good telling safety here? Not really. He's not put much pressure on Ali for his safety here. I mean, he won't be taking the pot on, but you play the red up and down, or just clip the red thin on the right hand side, put it in the middle of the baulk cushion. That's what he chose. And the full ball kiss on the pink has made it a lot better than it was going to be.
There can't be much of that red sticking out. Referee just looking over his shoulder. Well, you could say that was a fine shot, and he's got the kiss this time, and he's got the snooker. And Ali's smiling to himself as he comes to the table. Can he catch this? As Stephen did thin. No, he's pushed it towards the pocket. Not as he was hoping for, unless... No. The white is pulled up. But listen, these need good cueing. Just off straight.
Calls the red, not perfect on the colour by any means. Okay, he's got the easy yellow, but the potting angle is taking him away. Remember, the yellow, because it's being potted after a red, will go back on its spot.
A big shot coming up for Stephen Maguire. Needs this difficult pot. Good position on the green to give himself a chance to take the second frame.
Stephen Maguire, 3.
It could have been worse. He's got a pot on here, but if he screws across the table, he's got to watch the middle pockets.
But it's a chance, and Stephen will be very disappointed. He usually knocks that type of yellow in. Usually finds the heart of the pocket, but didn't on this occasion. As you say, beware the left middle pocket on this positional shot. Beware the left middle pocket. And maybe that's what just concerned him in playing the pot, but it's run safe.
Not much available to Stephen here. You can just put that yellow on the ball cushion. That was about all he could do. Which gives Ali Carter just a slight advantage. If he can put a telling safety in here. The way he's cueing, it looks as if he's trying to get around behind pink and black.
Thank you.
He's found the gap, and you always feel in that situation you want to keep the object ball safe, John.
Absolutely, that was a very risky shot to play. 31 minutes coming up now for this frame, but it's a big one, as they all are this evening. These two young men really battling out. It's been real hard match play snooker. Decided to take a chance. He needs a bit of luck. I don't think he's got any, or has he? Yes, he's run safe. Would you believe it?
I was looking at Ali's face in the chair. He thought it was going to come back over the pocket, and then he had a little smile to himself. But he can get the snooker here. He can leave the white where the yellow is and send the yellow round towards the pink. I don't know whether he can reach it with the extended rest or whether he needs a spider to get over the green. Let's have a look. Can just about get to it.
Played that well. Yeah, good shot. So, even though he wasn't left the yellow, he's in control now. But the subtle difference for Ali Carter, if he does get a chance, he'll need the blue. And the blue isn't straightforward.
So it's another swerve shot to hit the cushion first. Now, what does Ali Carter do here? He's got a chance to pot the yellow. If he pots the yellow, he'll automatically finish on the green. But I'll tell you what, this is a big shot coming up. It really is.
But I'll ask you, Dennis, with all your experience, pot or safety. The pot looks the easier option to me. I don't see a good safety here. And if he pots it, it could win him the frame.
That is a beautiful pot from Ali Carter, showing a lot of character there. He really did. That was superb cueing. Can he convert the chance now?
Yes, he needs green, brown and blue. So if he gets a good angle on the brown, he could get close to the blue.
Five. He's hit it a little bit too hard. If he can reach it without the rest, he can swing it around the angles towards the blue. He's having a quick look, but the angle is there, but he can swing this around the angles. That's the route he could take. Now, is he going to leave it there, or is he going to get in behind the blue? But he certainly can get off those two cushions and head up towards the blue. Looks pretty good. It needs to bounce a little bit. And it has, but they're tricky little cutback shots, these.
Well, he couldn't have played it much better. This is a big frame and will hurt Stephen Maguire. He was first in. Just the blue needed to go 20 ahead with 13 remaining.
It's there. 14. This has been a terrific frame for Ali Carter. Stephen Maguire looked as if he was going to take this and close to just 2 behind. He's going to have to do it all again.
Ali Carter, 14.
He's not bothered about the pink. Stephen Maguire signals to the referee. That was a big frame. Ali Carter showing true grit there, and he extends his lead. He's back at 11-7.
Ali Carter is a great player, but to win 2 titles, he's done brilliantly. He's been to the World Final, and he's had it a lot harder than the rest of us.
Ali's very solid, good cueist.
Health-wise, with his Crohn's disease, it's probably stopping him from travelling as much as he would like to tournaments.
He has suffered a lot with his Crohn's. It's tough to watch him struggle with that.
He's been to World Finals, made a max at the Crucible. You know, on his day, he's a match for anyone.
He is one of the best strikers of the ball I've ever seen.
You'll probably see himself, his attitude can let him down sometimes.
When he's on song, he's another good player to watch, great cue action. He doesn't really mingle with the players, but I suppose it's a tournament, he's there to do a job.
He's not a great mixer, but you know, if you're there to win a tournament, you're there to win a tournament.
If he believed in himself maybe a little bit more, there's nothing stopping him from winning.
Well, his peers all have good things to say about Ali. I've known Ali now a few years, and he's a lovely lad.
Ali Carter to break.
And he's a tough competitor, Dennis, isn't he?
Yeah, he is a bit hard on himself at times, but he's a very likeable lad. I get on famously well with him. They say he's a little bit of a lone ranger, but he's always around with his friends. He can be the most charming of lads. And of course, being a pilot, he can fly us anywhere, JV.
Yeah, he decided to take his exams so he could be a pilot, and just in case his snooker career didn't take off, so to speak, but he's back in the big time now. Just got to avoid the black. Judged it well, good shot.
Well, that's helped the situation. I thought we were going to have a little bit of a stalemate until our referee, Leo Scullion, declared touching ball, so he can get the spider out, and there is a way around the cushions here to get it safe. He can swing it around the angles with a little bit of side. I think that's the shot he'll be trying.
Thank you.
Surely this red doesn't go the back of the bunch. I think it does. What a mistake from Stephen Maguire to leave this on. That was just a straightforward escape into the bunch of reds. Well, he'll be disgusted with himself there. He can't believe what he's just done.
Eight. 9. Just
got to be a little bit careful here. As you can see, he's going to have to cannon the reds. He's screwing back. Well, he's the wrong side of the blue, so he's going to have to leave a medium length pot. Unless he wants to force it around the table, but that is quite difficult.
Yeah, I think it will all depend on what sort of angle he thinks he can leave the red to, either left or right corner. He may risk trying to come in and out of baulk just to get closer to the red. Needs to miss the pink and run on. As it turns out, he could have got there just rolling the blue in. Strange, isn't it?
Yeah. It's a chance you take, isn't it? You want to get a little bit closer to them. And he just come up a little bit short. But with that extension, okay, I was going to say there's a lot of cue between his bridge hand and the cue ball. Well, he's got another extension on. It's the sort of thing you don't really practice that much with. But he's made a good fist of that. And now one more good cannon. Okay, he's got 3 loose reds, but as we show you, there's a very good shot with that extension on. One good cannon here. More of a stun shot here. And he wouldn't stick in those reds. If he could have dropped it in, he could have played for the red to the right, but he can't do that, so it's into the reds. And he's played that pretty well. Might need the spider, but that other red's coming up over the middle. Look at the white stop and then spin back. And you heard the players talking about his cue action on that little collage, and he really has a super cue action, John, hasn't he?
Oh yeah, he's got great technique. It's not easy using the spider, but if you don't have to do a lot with the cue ball, it's not too bad. But well, he didn't have to do a lot with it. Just had to make certain he potted the red. And as you say, Dennis, there's a red gun over the left middle. He can leave that as a reserve because he's definitely 2 reds to go in the left corner, 2 in the right corner. Doesn't have to break anything open anymore. All the balls he needs are in play.
He's got to leave the blue or pink on here, because the red's blocking the path for one of the middle pockets.
39.
Oh, maybe the blue passes that red. Must do, he wouldn't have played the shot. So he can just stun in for the two reds to the left of the pack. There was no problem, just double checking to make sure the blue goes. He really is a gritty, tough competitor, this player. I enjoy
44.
watching Ali Carter, the way he plays.
A little shake of the head there. He wanted to be on this red so he could play for the black. So back up for the blue.
45.
But the blue's not a problem because of that red near the middle. But all of a sudden he screwed a little bit too far. If the blue only just passes the red, he may elect to play the yellow here. If he was straight on the blue as he was the previous time he played it, it wouldn't be a problem. But, well, looks to be all the pocket, but when you're not in line, it looks a bit difficult. So he may play the yellow here. I mean, he could play the blue and play a little cannon on the cluster. And he's going for the blue. He feels as though he passes the red comfortably. Well, once it hit the red, it could not. It could have gone 50. A bit awry, that.
Well, how's he hit the red? It's still gone in the pocket. Oh, I bet his heart missed a beat there.
$51.
That's the perfect angle to stun the black in and just come back up past with the white. Is a little wry smile from Stephen there, because Ali caught that red.
Once again,
58.
Not on the red as he would like. He'd like to play for the black, so he's back up for the blue. He's got to avoid the kiss on the second red. Could ruin his position.
59.
And it's not helped. It's not helped. 59 points the lead, but there's still a possible 75 remaining. Got a little bit of work to do here.
Which he wouldn't have had to do had he not have flicked that red, because the red was over the middle pocket. And he could have played on that now, but the fact that he did go in off it, it's awkward. And you said it, John. A lot of work to do to get good position here. Now this looks to be a fantastic shot. It really is a superb positional shot.
64.
That has definitely given him this frame, and as we show you that shot again, not so much the pot, but the cue ball, the control there was excellent.
Yeah, in snooker terms,
65.
to the inch. Absolutely brilliant. And this black to put him 72 points in front with just 67 remaining. So, lovely positional shot, and he knows it was a frame in this match where Stephen Maguire needed two snookers. He got the two snookers, but unfortunately he didn't win the frame. Ali managed to win it on the black, so Ali knows just a couple more pots, and there's no way that Stephen Maguire will come back to the table.
80.
And now every chance of a century break.
$81. $87. 88. 95.
Well, this has been
96.
absolutely fantastic from Ali Carter. Looks like a certain century here.
Yes, 65th of the tournament. Ali Carter's 5th, and it couldn't have come at a better time. He's come out tonight, he lost the first frame, but boy, he's queuing well now. He's queuing well now, I'll tell you.
I think, John, winning that previous frame has given him the confidence to go on and do this. It really has.
108. 110.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. There are key frames that can go either way, and you just feel good when you get over the line in one of those, and it just kept his 4-frame advantage. And now he can push on.
Sorry. I think I was right. 116.
He's made 22 centuries. Well, that was his 23rd at the Crucible.
121.
142 in his career.
Wonderful the way he's hitting it. As I say, he's 5th of the tournament, but this is sensational. Absolutely superb. The position of his shot, he played on the blue to get on that one red that was the frame winner, was worthy of any frame, and that's what he got. And he's now 5 clear, 12-7.
And that brilliant century from Ali Carter is the 65th at this year's tournament, already exceeding those of 2 years ago, back in 2008, and just 3 short of 2007. Still some way away from the 83 in 2009, but is that reachable, Stephen, 83?
I think so. It's going to be tough because obviously after tomorrow we're down to the final, and the more pressure that gets involved, sometimes the more cagey frames. But Ali just showed what a great player he is in amongst the balls. You know, there's 1 or 2 comments from myself as well that he's played a little bit negative in this semi, but when he gets in the balls, he's as good as anybody.
And talking of pressure as well, Steve Maguire just seems to be tightening up, becoming a little bit more nervous, or seemingly, as he gets his opportunities.
Yeah. There was a shot in the previous frame where he had a long ball, a long red to try and clinch a frame. He hit it very hard. It looks like he's snatching at his chances now, and he needs to be careful because the match is slipping away from him. Just tell me, we saw a shot there of Peter Ebdon, former world champion. How much of an influence do you think he's having on the style of play that Ali Carter's producing at the moment? I think he's just telling him to if he's got any doubts about shots, you know, leave them. I think that's the main thing he's telling him. Well, he doesn't seem to have too many doubts at the moment, but doubts must be creeping in for Steve Maguire, who's now 5 behind.
Yeah, I think what Peter Ebdon would have been telling Ali, play the percentages, and he's there chatting to Ali's good friend there. But that was the best bit of advice I ever had when I met the great Joe Davis at Pop Black, and he said, play the percentages. That's the key to the game. It's changed slightly since those days. They take more risk, but it still applies, John.
Yeah, at certain times, absolutely. But, yeah, it has changed a little bit because when we're looking there, Ali couldn't get through. So he's coming into the side of the cluster. He's got to be careful here. He doesn't leave one onto the right corner. He'll be trying to move that loose red. And he did. He did. He played that well. Yeah, it's a lot more attacking snooker now. I mean, Stephen Hendry raised the bar, so to speak. But, yeah, there's certain shots where you've got to be true to your ability. And, as I say, and I think Ali's tactic, and probably got it off Peter Ebdon, was get a good start to the match, get a foothold. You know, we see so many of these long matches, somebody loses the first 4 or 5 frames and they never settle. And even though he lost the first 2 frames of the match, he came back and levelled, then went in front. And then since then, he's always looked the more complete player to me, looked more comfortable at the table.
Well, his safety success rate has been pretty high. That's one of his poorer safety shots. He'll be disappointed with that. The mid-session interval coming up, but he must be delighted to have that 5-frame advantage. Knowing Stephen Maguire, he will go into attack mode. He normally is in that mode, but he's got a chance to pop the yellow and go straight into the bunch of reds. It's a good angle to go into them, and they could split nicely here. That's the angle he can take right into the bunch. Well, that's unlucky if he's not on one. Well, that is very unlucky if this red doesn't cut back in. Very unfortunate to squeeze his way through the bunch there. This is thin if he's looking to cut this back in.
Well, good pot. Not really good on the colour. If he plays the brown, it's very, very risky. The target for a place in the final is 17 frames. Ali Carter's only 5 frames away, so he can't be gifting him chances on a plate here. Got to try and dig in and win this frame and think about things at the interval. Is he playing the pot? Pressure on this. Lots of pressure on that.
Well, he's coming around to have a look, and the only good news for Stephen is he hasn't got the cue ball where he intended. There's a red 2 behind the pink that would go through the gap into the corner, and there you see that red, and he didn't get on that, luckily for him. Yeah, these are tough shots when you're 5 frames behind. Well, they're tough shots if you're 5 frames in front. It's just as simple as that. And he's in a spot of bother here. Not much room to squeeze between these reds he was looking at. I mean, it's very difficult. I think he's changed his mind. Can he get past the blue? If he can get past the blue, then yeah, he can snick one of those. Under the circumstances, that was a pretty good shot.
A little bit pacey, but he's finding a good line with most of his safety shots now, is Howie, and he'll be sitting in that seat feeling very comfortable. He knows he's got his opponent just where he wants him.
Yeah, Ali's sitting in his seat very comfortable. So was my father-in-law, John, David Rowlands. He's 76 today, and he never misses a shot. Just loves the snooker. You can't get him out of the chair when the snooker's on. Happy birthday. Sorry I missed it, David.
Always difficult to tell a player telling safety because the brown's not on its spot, so there's not much to hide behind. Has he left this red to the left corner? He has.
Stephen just looking up at the monitor to see the red's on. There is a possible gap, but could he find that gap? The most important thing is to pot the red, but there is a gap there. You can see to the right that he could go through. He's played a good side, and that shows you how confident he is. The natural angle would have taken him into a red. He played it with a little bit of side to avoid that. The natural angle would have taken him into the pink and reds. He checked it up a little bit with right-hand side.
He's not finished too bad on the blue to the right corner. He's just checking where he'd like to leave the cue ball. I think there's quite a few reds that will go to the left corner. In fact, the one closest to the left corner is the one that seems to be the biggest gap he can play for. Can he reach? If he can, it makes this shot that little bit easier just to feel the pace of it.
That's a great aid to Ali, isn't it, that extension, John? Because he's not the tallest player in the world. He's probably similar size to what the great Joe Davis was, or maybe just a little bit shorter than Joe. But that extension means he can reach up to the blue spot area, and that's a big advantage.
Absolutely, but even with that extension, and although, as we know, the extension just adds a bit more weight to the cue, he ran through a fraction too far. But you've got to say at the moment, he doesn't look like missing. He does not look like missing. The black, when he played that shot, went tight against the left-hand cushion, but that won't bother him.
30.
He's got the pink in the open, he's got the blue on its spot, and he'll feel he can accumulate enough points with these reds that are all spread beautifully to win the frame at this visit. He won't be bothered about the black being out of play.
I mean, Stephen Maguire was favourite for this semi-final, but you're looking at a player out here that's got more experience at the Crucible than Stephen Maguire. This is his third time, Ali's third time at the one-table situation in the last 4 years. He had that final where he lost to Ronnie O'Sullivan, 2008. Semi-final in 2010.
Twenty-seven. Okay. 28.
Didn't get to the one-table situation last year. He lost to
44.
Graham Dott in the second round.
$35.
But he is certainly taking control of this.
Look up to the sky, scratch of the head.
41.
Surely he's on a red. Body language says no. It's a careless shot. Well, it all looked as though it was going to be plain sailing. But just shows you just cannot lose your concentration for a second. And now it looks like end of break. And instead of winning at this visit, he'll go back to his seat after the safety with a 37-point lead, but still 83 remaining.
Yeah, he had a chance to play a cannon there, and he didn't want to risk it. We show you it again. He got a cannon, those two reds, he'd have been perfect. Just didn't hit it.
Well, he put his disappointment behind him and has played an absolute beaut of a safety. And as I always say, as long as you don't miss an easy pot, you run out of position, you always get to play the next shot. And he put, as I say, that disappointment behind him and has played an excellent safety. And Stephen Maguire, if he's snookered on all reds, he'll do very, very well not to leave a pot on here. 37 points behind, so he can't afford to leave Ali another chance. He knows that. Well, he cut it to red. And that was top draw. We talk about pressure pots, but that was a pressure safety, and he played it well. Well, it was a good effort, but he has sent a red towards the left corner. But there's nothing easy for Stephen at the moment. Every shot he knows, every shot he takes on, he's got to get.
And this is a tough one, because the white's going to head over towards the red and pink. Not guaranteed to get on a colour, but he's got to knock this in. Deserves to be on the pink. That was a brave shot from Stephen Maguire. Knew he was going to cannon that. Deserved a bit of good fortune there.
Be a little bit disappointed he's not better on this red. If he was nicely on the red, then it follows he'd be nicely on the blue, but just a little bit of work to do with the cue ball.
Eight.
So decided to play for yellow or green. It'll be the green. But when that cue ball's having to travel distances, it's very hard to retain pinpoint position.
Yeah, he's fortunate that all the reds are available, so he's bound to get on one here. nice when you've got options, and he's got plenty of options with the reds as they're situated. Once again, he's got choices. Delicate little screw shot will leave those 3 reds near the pink available. Well, you'd have to say this is a must-win frame for Stephen Maguire. This frame to share this little mini session, 2 frames all.
Interesting when I thought both those reds were available to right corner, but I think only the right hand one, as we look, is available. I think the left hand one is. He's had a look. Well, let me think about this. Does the left one go? If it doesn't, is he on the right hand one? Well, I presume he is, because he's coming round to see what potting angle he wants. Oh no, he's not on it. He's having to play this tricky one. He's a good angle on the pink. He's run a little bit further than he would have liked, and that brown will not help his cueing. And as I say, there's only the right hand one of those 2 reds that will go in this right corner pocket. So it's a little bit tricky now, this isn't straightforward. Still 12 points behind.
It is a little bit of a stretch there because of that brown. No. He just couldn't.
Well, as you see, so close to brown, he was stretching, and the worst thing, he's missed the pink, and I think he's got position on that 1 red that will go to the right corner. I think it's on from where the cue ball is now.
He's got to be a little bit careful if he's got to play the cannon onto the other red.
So in it goes, and Ali Carter made an elementary positional shot mistake. Could have cost him the frame, but once again, another one slipping away from Stephen Maguire.
Yeah, he looked a little bit fed up there, Stephen. He knew he had to take this frame and share this session, 2 frames all, but it looks as if he's going to lose at 3-1. Ali just checking the score to see exactly what he needs. He's 19 in front, so he doesn't need the tricky brown, and even then the brown's on.
Well, this yellow to go 27 points in front with 25 remaining.
50.
It's going to be a long way back now for Stephen Maguire. He may nip to the practice room. He could do with all 4 frames after the mid-session interval. It's going to be a tall order because Ali Carter is growing in confidence. He knows how to get over the winning line. He proved that against Judd Trump, where he won from 12-9 behind.
22.
Doesn't matter about the blue. Steve Maguire was hoping to win this mini-session 3-1. It's Ali Carter that's done that, and he extends his lead. He's now 13-7 in front.
Well, what a session for Ali Carter. He is now 6 frames clear, having started 4 ahead of Stephen Maguire. You said at the start of the show tonight, Stephen, that Stephen Maguire had to win 3 of the first 4 frames. So your assessment of the situation now?
Well, he's just not performed in this whole match. I think that if he does go to lose it, he'll just be frustrated with the way he's played in the semi-final. You know, he played so well to get up to the semi-final, but yeah, it's running away from him. As I said earlier, there's a possibility he could lose tonight.
Ali Carter, though, has played very well when he's had his opportunity, and he's produced the type of game plan that looks like it's well thought out. He's thought about his opponent and he's prepared for his style.
Yeah, and even when he makes mistakes, and we talked about his involvement with Peter Ebdon, I think another thing that Peter will tell him is if you're making mistakes, get them out of your mind as quick as possible and get on with the next shot. He played a bad positional shot in that frame, but quickly forgot it and played an excellent safety. So all parts of his game at the moment are very strong. And
knowing Stephen the way you do you think there is the belief there that he can come back tonight, maybe tomorrow?
It doesn't look like that at the moment. He doesn't look focused in his chair. He looks sort of resigned to the fact that things are going downhill fast.
OK, well, Ali Carter in total control of his semi-final against Steve Maguire. To the other semi-final today between Ronnie O'Sullivan, the 3-time winner, and Welshman Matthew Stevens, the 2-time Crucible runner-up. Well, the first session went to O'Sullivan. He led 5-3 overnight, and though Stevens won the first 2 to level things briefly today, O'Sullivan picked it up again and leads 9-5 as we join it in frame 15. O'Sullivan at the table leading 45-19. Stephen is with Dennis Taylor.
Foul and a miss.
Bit of a chance. Bit of a chance. He's found the gap there. Still not going to be easy, but if he could get himself onto the blue in such a way, he might be able to develop the last red. Just checking the scoreboard. Not the easiest shot he's going to be faced with. A key, difficult pot coming up. Absolutely terrific.
7.
Okay, he's not nicely on the blue, but that was some pot, Stephen.
It was a great pot, and he almost hit it too well. He wanted to be this side of the table so he could just drop the blue in and go towards the yellow. He's looking at the brown or possibly even the green, but I think he needs to get the points on the board.
Well, he's looking at forcing the blue in to leave himself some sort of pot on the yellow, but you know, don't miss the blue, Matthew.
No, I think if you're going to take the bull by the horns, I think I would rather be dropping the brown, and you know you're going to be on the yellow. This can go wrong when you're trying to force these in at pace.
Now, is he going to be snookered behind the blue when it respots? I think he knows that he may be. So he took the risk. And he potted the blue. Look where he's finished.
Matthew not happy with the bounce off the side cushion again. Felt like it came off a lot quicker than it went on.
He'd love to be able to swerve it and just flick the yellow off the side cushion onto the baulk cushion. And that's what he's done. Okay, would have liked to have missed the brown. He's got the yellow safe. Just looking at the position, if Ronnie can stop the white and send the yellow round just behind the black spot, chance of a snooker. I think he's found the gap here.
If Matthew plays the yellow up and down the table, as long as he hits the yellow on the right hand side as he's looking at it, the brown, blue and green are all in a position to snooker behind. Caught the yellow a little bit thin.
There is a possibility of sending the yellow all the way around the table, get it behind the black spot, but Ronnie, that's what he's attempted, and he's made a pretty good job of this. Well, that's unfortunate. The only consolation for Matthew there is he didn't hit the shot as he intended, and the yellow obviously has gone safe, and he's just 24 behind, so it would have been better had the white not gone in the pocket, but as I say, he mishit the shot slightly. Otherwise he wouldn't have been anywhere near the in-off. So Ronnie exercising his right of putting Matthew back in again and get this safe. The only way you think you could get a safe is just roll to the yellow dead weight. If he plays off the side of the yellow as we look at it, knock the pink away and leave the yellow on. Oh, this is a tough one to work out.
There is a shot if he wants to play cushion first, hit the yellow, bring the white off the black cushion, the side cushion, and back up towards the yellow pocket. The yellow would hopefully stay where the pink is and the white would be behind the black. So it's side cushion first, yellow half ball. Now he's just playing the containing shot. Safe, but it gives advantage to Ronnie. Can he put the white on behind the pink here?
He's got to be careful if he tries that he doesn't screw in off if he overdoes it. No, he's played it perfectly. I think Stephen, when he played the last shot, knew immediately that he was going to play your shot, Stephen. There, it was on for him.
I don't know what the referee's going to do here, because I cannot see a way out of this snooker. So will he call a miss here?
Well, no, because if he misses it, he will need a snooker, Matthew. There's 24 the difference. Oh, there's only 14 the difference, so yeah. He will be calling a miss, even though it's so difficult. 14, yeah, so. But if he doesn't hit the yellow, how's he going to leave it safe?
Foul. And miss. Ronnie O'Sullivan, 7.
White just hit the cushion and jumped up. You're absolutely right, Stephen. There was no way out of that snooker. Yeah, when you strike down on the ball on these fine cloth, they do jump. So just the green needed. Well, he had a bit of a chance there, didn't he, Matthew? But he had quite a difficult situation to negotiate and failed to do so. And Ronnie O'Sullivan marches on. That's 5 frames in a row. No breaks in that frame. But Ronnie O'Sullivan has extended his lead. It's now 10-5.
You heard from Dennis, 5 frames in a row for Ronnie O'Sullivan. Matthew really needs to win frame 16, the last of the session.
Oh, that's very careless.
Foul, miss. Ronnie O'Sullivan, 4.
Okay, he was in a tough spot. But at that pace, I'm not quite sure what he was expecting to get, Matthew, because if he hits the red, he's going to leave the one to the right of the back. Let's have another look at it again now. Now he's played to hit it on the way up and was hoping to leave the white in the jaws of the pocket. Even if the white had to win in off, it would have been okay.
One. Eight. Nine.
Well, it's all about this split, and we know how good he is at this. We keep saying it's a bad pack to go into, but not the way Ronnie O'Sullivan seems to play it. The reds have opened nicely.
16.
I think Ronnie, even at this early stage, was hoping to be on a red in such a way as he could get back for the black, but he can't do that. He's got to play for the blue here.
70.
Now, has he found a nice little gap after that cannon for a red into the right corner? He's got a few he can go at, but yeah, that's usually the case. When you're playing well, you get the nice little nudges. He played himself into
23.
A situation where he would have had a choice of reds.
Yeah, I'm sure Matthews resigned
31.
himself to the fact that he's 11-5 now, down now. He won't be expecting Ronnie to miss from here. I don't think anyone else is.
38.
You're watching a lot of
39.
other players. A lot of the time you see him finish straight in the black a lot, or a little close to the cushion. Ronnie's always making sure he's got a nice angle in the black every time.
$46.
I mean, Matthew won 3 in a row to level the match at 5-all. The last
47.
5 frames, okay, maybe he's had a bit of a chance in one of them. Ronnie's just kept him sitting in his seat. There's the pot success rate up to
54.
94%.
$55.
As I said earlier, Dennis, Matthew's more than capable of doing this to his opponent, but can he do it to Ronnie O'Sullivan? And can you keep Ronnie O'Sullivan out for a whole session? I don't think you
60.
can.
Once again, he had different choices there.
61.
The last frame was more of a tactical frame, no breaks in that, but the other breaks
68.
from Ronnie in this session. Breaks of 61, 62, 110, 98, 90, and now this. It's been some session for the Rocket.
69.
Yes, Dennis, I don't care what the rankings say. You're watching the best player in the world here.
$76.
Almost dropped out of the top
77.
16. I think he's sitting at around number 9 at the moment, but I'm with you, Stephen. Okay, Judd Trump has been the man in form, but
84.
this display this year by Ronnie O'Sullivan, he is back to his brilliant best.
85. 92. 93.
There's the 68th century of this year's BetFriends.com World Championship.
100.
It's Ronnie O'Sullivan's 8th. He now takes the lead and overtakes the young
101.
Welshman Jamie Jones, who had 7. But what a display from Ronnie O'Sullivan here, who was installed as the new favourite after Judd Trump was knocked out, or even before he was, the way Ronnie was playing. And look at that shot. Have a look at that past the green. And here's a look at the cue. Is it going to miss the brown? A little bit of exhibition stuff.
113.
It has been an unbelievable session from Ronnie O'Sullivan. He's congratulated by Matthew Stevens. He's had 2 90-plus breaks. He's had 2 centuries. That is some display, I can tell you. And he goes into the lead by 11 frames to 5.
I was getting changed, wanting to come in for the afternoon, and I just couldn't take my eyes away from what I was watching from Ronnie O'Sullivan, Stephen. You were seeing it up close. Mesmerising.
He played fantastic. I know he lost the first 2 frames, but his attitude and his focus, and he just looked so relaxed. And when he got on a roll, he just looked unbeatable.
We talked about players all the way through the tournament, that when they're in form, get amongst the boards, they make it look easy. He, I think, for my money, makes it look the easiest.
Yeah, I said in commentary there, I mean, and the rankings are you know, they're a nonsense, really, when you look at where Ronnie is. For me, he's the best player in the world right now, by a distance.
And he is in complete control of his match at the moment against Matthew Sims. Can you see Matthew making a fight back?
I always thought that Ronnie Sullivan would win a session heavily. He's that good. Whether Matthew can do it to Ronnie, he's capable, but whether he, you know, as I said earlier, you can keep Ronnie quiet for a whole session, I don't think you can.
Well, Matthew is, he's got to have a big session tomorrow. He's trailing by a significant margin. And so is Stephen Maguire in his match against Ali Carter, as we've been seeing tonight. Ali Carter has got this one by the scruff of the neck. He led 10-6 at the restart, won 3 of the first 4 frames this evening, and he now leads 13-7. Don't forget to use the red button on your remote, or go online to watch the 4 remaining frames tonight. Knowing these two players as well as you do, Stephen, what is the chance of a Maguire fight back?
Well, there's a chance there, but he needs to get the next frame. It's huge, the next frame from... if Ali gets to maybe 15 before Stephen wins a frame, it could be all over tonight.
Are you saying he might lose interest if this carries
Well,
on the way
you're always that, do I want to come back tomorrow for, you know, you're in a hard position. You do want to win the match, but it's difficult.
As things stand, it looks like we might be looking at a repeat of 2008.
Yeah, be very interesting to see how, if Carter can do better this time.
Yeah, Ali Carter, of course, finished runner-up to Ronnie O'Sullivan in 2008 when Ronnie won the world title for the 3rd time. The way things are looking, we may be heading that way again. A reminder that we'll be back with highlights tonight. That's with me here. I'll bring you an update on all that's happened today, including what happens in the 4 remaining frames between Stephen Maguire and Ali Carter. That's on BBC 2 at 25 past midnight.
Earlier,
Stephen, myself and the team.
Finish the match here tonight at the end of this 3rd session. Steve Maguire's got to get a grip of this now very quickly.
Here's a thin cut to the right corner. It's a good safety though.